Alrighty, we got patch notes for Marvel Rivals Season 5.5. I can already see Emma Frost is getting a change, so it probably won't be enough. Emma Frost is just broken as it is, but what we're going to be doing is we are going to be going through each change and going on whether it is a bad change or a good change, and also if it was necessary or unnecessary, or we'll make it as we go along. Starting off, Emma Frost, Diamond Hard and Ready for More. With her team up anchor gone, and we get the slight durability upgrade to compensate, which I think that's fair. She basically can get the team up now, where she places an ice wall, which I think is pretty fun ability. I think that's a fun ability from what I've seen. Increases base health from 550 to 600. Remove the team up anchor, but 100 bonus health. So she just went up 50 health, essentially. So she lost 50 health, but I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue, really, because she has that team up ability. And even if it's not active, she's still just such a tanky and broken character. I think this change is fine. Even if she didn't even have, if it was just like, oh, the team up anchor bonus went from 100 to 50, that would have been fine anyways. But I think this is overall a good change, and I feel like it was necessary to make the Emma Frost anyways. So Penny Parker, Spider's pilot faces a slight durability downgrade, better stay nimble, Penny. Reduce base health from 750 to 700. That's very fair. If you go into ranked, a lot of the times you'll see that Penny Parker is very rarely ever allowed to be played. But in all honesty, this is a good change. Was it necessary? Not really. Like, it's not that it wasn't necessary, it's just there's a lot of better things they could have done to make her less broken. The reason she's so good is because nobody else does what she does. Every single character you play, you don't think, oh, I can or cannot play them unless we're on defense or if we're on offense. It's only Penny Parker. You can play any character in any different mode, but Penny really thrives specifically in, like, whenever you're pushing the cart or you have to defend somebody against somebody pushing the cart. So overall, I'm not trying to get too much into her specifically, but that's a whole other video to be had of why Penny is so crazily broken in theory, but good change. Next up, we have the Thing. Ben Grimm's punches hit harder and his crowd control lasts longer. It's clobbering time. So this just seems like a buff, which I'm all for. I loved playing. I was playing the Thing, I think, in a ranked game one time, and it was doing great. Increased Stone Haymaker bonus damage equal to enemies max health per hit from 8% to 10%. That's not that much, but I feel like that right there was a great change because it's not such a big difference to where you'll start to like really feel it like all the time. But it increases the case where, like, increases the, like, baseline for him, more or less. It increases the baseline more than it increases the maximum, which is always a great change. Good change, right there. Increase the duration of the lingering anti-mobility field after Yancey Street Charge from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. I don't like that. In all honesty, I feel like that wasn't... It's not that it's a bad change inherently, but the reason people don't like playing against the Thing most of the time is because he's kind of annoying to like try and run in and deal with. Like, I forget who I was playing. I think I was playing, yeah, Gambit. It was Gambit. I was playing Gambit. Then he runs over to me and just slams on the ground and starts hitting me. Most of the time, that's annoying in lower tier lobbies whenever your team can't go and turn their head immediately and kill him. So if a Thing tries to single you out, it becomes more and more annoying because 5 seconds, it can just be a bit annoying, but it's only 5 seconds, really. If a good team plays around this, great. But I feel like this is just a harder punishment for this. But I feel like 4 seconds would have been a better change. But I don't think that was a great change overall. I think it was just acceptable. So was it a good change? Maybe. Well, we'll see. Next up, we have Thor. All right. Thor takes some lessons from his battles against zombies to heart. The God of Thunder is ready to take control of lightning with increased flexibility. Okay, I'm really excited for this specifically since I really like Thor's gameplay loop. I don't play him that much. When I do, I find it to be a pretty fun. I love characters that have like a secondary objective to them, like Phoenix, Gambit. You'll know that I play those characters a lot. All right, during Storm Surge, instead of being unable to change direction of movement, Thor can now freely adjust it while dashing and moving in any direction. Is this a good change? I don't know. I don't know what Storm Surge is in all honesty. If it means like the hammer dashing, like you dash with the hammer using one thing, can I freely adjust it while dashing and move in any direction? If it's saying that, good change. I like this. I really like this. Some players might not like this, and all honesty, I play them a lot since now it might be like an Apex whenever you're diving. How you can hold a button and like look to the side while you're still going the same direction. Some people, you might not be able to do that now, but like you're not moving for that long enough to where it's an issue. But if that's what that is, good change. Now we're on to the duelist. There's no more tank changes. No tank changes to Strange, something like that, which I'm kind of sad to see. I wish Strange got like a buff or something. But all right, Blade. I want Blade to get buffed so hard. The Daywalker sharpens his edge and his resilience. Increase Ancestral Sword single hit damage from 24 to 26. It's not that bad. Whirlwind / single hit damage from 15 to 16. Reduce Bloodline Awakening, reduce healing from 35% to 25%. Good change. That's a good change. I was about to like criticize the Bloodline Awakening reduced healing from 35% to 25%, but then I kind kind of thought about it, that's a far better change for his awakened form rather than going, oh, well, he just increases, he gets more health off of hitting people, because that would be way more annoying in 1v1 situations. The only reason that Blade's kind of annoying is because he's a mini Daredevil in the sense that he can keep himself up for so long to where it's just infuriating. So this is a good change because it doesn't make him more annoying. It just makes him better in scenarios where he originally wasn't that good. And also just baseline more damage, which is always good to see in a character that's not so great, like Blade. Daredevil, Lee's nerf. I'm guessing this isn't going to be a nerf. The Man Without Fear loses a bit of his grit. Remove the team up anchor, 25 bonus health. That's it. In my games, I'm in Diamond, right? And I never see Daredevil ever. Like, I never see him unless I'm playing quick match, because he's always banned. Everybody bans Daredevil. You'll constantly see him be almost always is the first ban on at least one team, if not both teams. I don't know why they wouldn't change him a little bit. I think making it to where he gained a little less health off of doing different things, that would have been okay, because he's the one-on-one character. When like somebody like Thor was originally the one-on-one character, or like Jeffrey was back in season 1. But of course he shouldn't have been, because he's a healer. But I think this is a good change. Yes, this is a good change, but it's not enough. It's not enough of a change. Is it a good change? Yeah. Okay. All right, Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm slightly turns up the heat. All right, Fire Cluster. Slightly reduce projectile speed. Increase single cast projectile damage from 5 to 5.5. Projectile damage, he throws like 10 projectiles, so that's like a, 5 damage increase? That's not that bad. It's not that bad. I like that. Adjust maximum fall off from 60% at 30 meters to 60% at 20 meters. So you have to get kind of closer. Okay, is that a good change? Is the Fire Cluster change a good change? Yeah, I'd say yeah. All right, now Blazing Blast. Reduce single charge speed from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Increase hit damage from 40 to 45. If that's like the throw the thing and leave a zone area, I love this change. I love it because it's hit damage. Like, as in I throw it at you and it goes like dinks you like that. That's cool. I like that. It's not like that, and it's not annoying. Like, as in, oh, it does so much damage now, because number one, it's not even that much damage change, but also it's hit damage. It's not like lingering damage. So I feel like this is actually really good, since you can now just throw more of them down. And most of the time, like with the prison, you don't really use these other than for the prison, from what I'm getting whenever I play them. So it's like you just get to use them more frequently and actually utilize them rather than just for the prison. So I think that's actually a good change. This is overall good change. Phoenix. Oh, she's getting a boost. Jean Grey's Fiery Spirit gets a slight summon boost. During End Song Inferno, increases Phoenix summon health from 400 to 500. So that's a good change. Even if Phoenix was still broken and they did this, I feel like that'd be fine, because it's her ultimate isn't that threatening, in all honesty. Unless she like is like diving right at you like this, it's not that threatening. It doesn't do that much damage. It just breaks stuff. Like Rocket's, I know whenever I played Rocket, I hated playing against Phoenix because she just breaks everything. Pennies hate Phoenix, because she's kind of like a soft counter to them, but her ultimate is just, there's an ultimate going off, and you have to destroy everything you own, or else she'll destroy it for you. But a lot of times, especially like whenever you're playing as a dive comp, or not a dive comp, poke comp, and you try to use this, it's getting shattered immediately. But there's a lot of ways you can play around it getting destroyed, but then I feel like just helping out the majority of the player base, that player, yeah, good change. Psylocke. Psylocke's ultimate is a little harder to unleash, time to earn those butterfly blades. I thought it was about to be a buff to her ultimate, and I was about to say we cannot be serious, but increase the energy cost of Dance of the Butterfly ultimate ability from 2,800 to 3,400. I love this change, because her ultimate, if used properly, which of course every ultimate if used properly is going to get you a lot of stuff, but if used properly, which is in a lot of scenarios where you just catch somebody off guard, she can murder like 2 supports. She can turn the tides of a fight with one ultimate, which every ultimate can turn the tide, but this one especially is just really easy to use, since all I have to do is just dive right here, hit ultimate. That's it. I feel like increasing energy cost, especially since she's a dive character, if you play her properly, this is going to be kind of like a little less annoying than if you play her as like a head-on type of person, which you should never really, I don't feel like you should do that. I feel like you should play her as like as a Sigma, like in Overwatch 2, where you can play it at an off angle. I'd say good change from what I can tell. Scarlet Witch. One is Chaos Magic is more explosive. Increase the charge to burst by Chaos Control hits from 0.08 to 0.1. I don't know what that means. All right, Punisher. I put Punisher a decent bit. So, oh, I thought that was a nerf. Okay. Frank Castle got a little more firepower. Watch your 6. Increase adjudication damage per hit from 19 to 20. Good change. Good change. Yeah, I say it's a good change. It's not that much damage to where it's a, what, 5% damage buff. That's, or less than 5%, matter of fact. That's good. I'd say it's all right. It's like, the Punisher was all right, and the Punisher's never going to be that good, since this kit is so simple to the point where, like, he has to be so, the opposite of fundamentally broken, actually. He has to be so strong in terms of just firepower, which I feel like they probably understand where that's at, which I feel like 25 damage would have been, like, absurd. Like, they would have known that can't do that. So 20 damage, that's fine. That's a good change. Wolvie. Logan's ultimate just got a whole lot more freedom to leap, slash, and surprise his foes from every angle. Last Stand can now target walls for its landing point. I think that's a good change. That's actually a really good change, I'd say, because it's just a nice quality of life type of thing, where in a lot of the cases, having to hit a ground, I think you have to hit a ground for it to do its thing. Of course you have to hit the ground, but I'm not sure if you hit a wall, if you just do like this and then slide down and then boom, or if it's like, oh, you hit them and then everybody like is okay, and then the boom doesn't happen. In both cases, this is a good change because now you can actually be a bit more flexible, especially on indoor maps. I think on the one where it's the one where, you know, there's that big thing in the center, like the pole, and then the things on the side like this. That map, I'll probably bring it up in post editing. If I can, pop it up like here or something, I don't know. That map, he's probably gonna hate it because there's not a lot of places he can go, or he'll have to like turn and go like halfway across the map to land his ultimate. So good change. All right, Gambit. I play Gambit, I love Gambit, so I'm gonna hate whatever change this is if it's a nerf. The Ace of Spades can't tell you about how much he never folds as often. Increased energy cost of Rage and Royal Flush ultimate ability from 4,300 to 4,500. That's a good change. That just flat out is a good change because his ultimate is like, it's probably, I want to say it's not the most valuable. I don't want to say that because that's really like, it's really a bold statement to make, but his ultimate is like, in terms of numerical value, it's the most important on the team because an Invisible Woman can pop her ultimate. An Invisible Woman can pop her ultimate like I see down there, and then he can pop his ultimate afterwards. Everybody pushes back so far to where a new team fight has to happen. Invisible Woman can get hers back, and then you're good. So now I feel like increasing it by a decent, like a somewhat high, like low amount, but then still an okay amount that you can notice. That's fine. I feel like it's a good change. They could have made a lot of other changes, but I'm really glad they only made that one. Invisible Woman. Season Storm's invisibility trick is now a little more precious. Increased energy cost of Invisible Boundary ultimate ability from 4,300 to 4,500. Because Gambit exists, I'm going to say this is good change. This is a good change. Invisible Woman is flat out way better at healing than Gambit flat out because she just has a lot more direct healing. But Gambit has a lot more indirect ways of helping the team, as in doing damage. You can't really damage boost unless it's his ultimate. Putting debuffs, buffs. He has a lot of different ways of doing it. So I feel like both their ultimates are probably about the same in terms of value because Invisible Woman is like, this area inside is now, you can't die essentially. You essentially can't die. Unless you're sitting next to a wall and a Squirrel Girl ultimate hits you twice. You're not going to die. Because an Iron Man from the outside has to fly in, find you, aim, and fire. A Magneto has to go up in the air and wait for a minute, and you can just either go out of the area or back into the area, and then you can just immediately be invisible. So I feel like good change. Good change. Supports really do run the game, in all honesty. It's very annoying, even though I'm the support man. All right, Loki. Trickster's God Illusions are even more potent. Increased damage and healing ratio of Loki's doppelgangers from 80% to 90%. Good change. Loki's hasn't been doing as good as he was in the past couple seasons. He originally whenever I used to have Loki's on my team, I was like, man, this is gonna be great. But now if I see one, I'm kind of like, this is probably gonna go bad. Even if it's a Lord Loki, I just don't really have much, not that I don't have faith in them, they're probably doing their best, and that's the issue. They're doing their best, and it's not enough. So I feel like the increasing the ratio by an okay amount, only 10%, is actually good. Good thing it's not 100% because that still could probably make it way more annoying. I think maybe making it the healing ratio is 90% and the damage ratio is 80% would make it better. I still think it's a good change overall though. Good change. All right, Luna Snow. This is a very long effect. Luna Snow cools down her foes even faster and gets a brand new ability. She's never beating the allegations, is she? Oh, they're talking. I was thinking, like, is this a reference to the comic or something? And then I realized, oh, like, it's because like they always buff her. Like, I don't think she's gotten a single nerf. I don't think since season 0, which I don't see the issue with that really. Like, yes, it seems bad, but if a character is so bad, like they're not getting buffed, or that they're not getting nerfed. My bad. If a character is so bad that they're not getting nerfed ever, it's not that crazy to say that, oh, they've never been nerfed before or something like that, or oh, they're only ever getting buffs. But Luna Snow is a weird case since she's just kind of like, oh, I have a lot of healing, but you have to be very skilled to play me. So she's kind of, if too many people play her, she seems bad. She seems bad because people are just playing bad with her rather than she is a bad character. So reduces absolute zero startup time and increases projectile speed from 60 meters per second to 80 meters per second. I love this change. I really love this change because if you know her Lord grind, like ability, like not ability, challenge, it is land the absolute zero on somebody, which is stupid because you don't want to just be like tossing it out. So I feel like doing this is actually a great thing rather than reducing the cooldown, since reducing the cooldown would just make her infuriating to try and kill. So this is a good change, very good change. New ability, Luna Snow can now apply Idle Aura to herself, separate from Share the Stage. Oh, when Idle Aura is active, 10% of healing is 2 allies is converted into healing for Luna Snow herself, and she gains a 10% healing boost and a 10% damage boost. If that's, I know it says separate from the share the stage. If it means like she and an ally can get one, that's great. Like that's just a 10% buff to her healing and a 10% buff to her damage, and she just constantly heals 10% based on what she does. That's crazy. That's actually really good. Good change? Yeah, I'd say yeah. She has a problem with self-sustain, other than like just throwing out abilities, which, you know, is not the best idea most of the time. Rocket, I hope they buff him, I don't want to see. Rocket's ultimate takes a little more juice to fire off. Alright, never mind. Increase the energy cost of Sia from 4,000 to 4,300. That's a good change, yeah. Support ultimates should be kind of more rare, since in this game they're so valuable to the point where like they should cost a fair amount, which but I like how his still doesn't cost as much as an Invis or Gambit, because if they did cost as much as Invis or Gambit, he would just be bad, because his ultimate is inherently like worse than a lot of other support ultimates, because they can just be destroyed. You can just flat out, you can stop his ultimate immediately without even touching him. He could go hide in a corner and then the ultimate could get destroyed. But if an invisible woman pops your ult and jumps away, you're never ending that ultimate. That ultimate is stuck there forever, and nobody can die in that ultimate, essentially. Unless Iron Man fires something off. So, good change overall, I'd say. Ultron. I think I remember he gets like 2 drones now. I saw it on like a TikTok. Ultron's battlefield coverage and utility are evolving. Okay, I'm gonna get into this in a minute. All right. Imperative patch can now deploy 2 drones, allowing support for 2 allies at once. I love this change so much, I couldn't even put it into words. Like, it's his issue was that he had to choose between like, oh, a support is back there, and they're taking a little bit of damage from like a Jeffrey, or there's like 2 people up here, like 2 tanks next to each other. Yeah, it's kind of like a lose-lose where like a bad thing is gonna happen regardless. But now he can actually use a bit more thought behind like, oh, this character would get this and this character and this character would get the most value out of it, like a dive, and then like 2 tanks could get good value out of it. But I feel like they made a good change it could have made is increasing the range of it, which I've never understood why there's just a range to his healing. It's not enough to where it's like, oh, he can hide and spawn and use a drone and then people are unkillable. No, Ultron doesn't do that much healing. You know, he really doesn't. But now I feel like 2 of these working at once, if they can affect the same ally, as in there's an Emma Frost here and an Iron Fist here, and there's a drone on both of them, and they basically receive double healing now since there are 2 drones affecting them. That might be an issue, but even then, maybe not, since his healing is just still so not that good. But good change. Imperative Firewall can now it requires a target with Imperative Patch to use. After use, Ultron gains 65 bonus health. So he always has self-sustain. I really like that. The target and nearby allies get 50 bonus health, plus the selected ally gains 20% movement speed and 10% damage buff. That's really good. That is a very good change. Since Ultron is so terrible, that is a fabulous change. And that also makes the lore grind way easier. I lore grind a lot. Increase the energy cost of Rage of Ultron from 3,700 to 4,000. Ultron should have been an ultimate merchant. That's my opinion on it. He really should have been an ult merchant. As in, like, his ultimate could cost like 2,000. Like his healing is really bad baseline, but his ultimate comes by so often to the point where it's kind of like as Ultron, you have big spikes of like importance, and then they kind of drop down spikes. That I feel like that could have been really fun, since now you constantly are just ulting. But this playstyle is also good. I like this playstyle. So overall, great change. They were very smart with increasing his ultimate charge though, because even though it's not that good of an ult, I think it's one of the worst ults in the entire game. That's good, because he now has so much healing and damage to where he's probably gonna earn it the same anyways. So good change. Team up abilities removed or adjusted. The iced out Emma Frost is joining the Icy Fray. We already knew this. Bad change. She's already broken. Like, she's really already broken. She should have stayed a team up anchor for something. But even then, that would kind of be stupid, since she's always kind of like a must pick most of the time in higher ranked lobbies. Explosive Entanglement. Gambit, Magneto, or Rogue. Rogue's got a new trick up her sleeve. Rogue receives Hearts as 1 ability through her team up with Gambit. I don't know what this does. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. I have no idea what this is going to do. Mental Projection. This just got removed. Swords of Duality. Okay, Psylocke just joins, and I don't know what it does. Okay, changes. Daredevil's toughness gets trimmed, or slightly reducing Daredevil's survivability. We already checked this, and I think that's the end of the patch notes. Overall, I feel like these changes were good. I liked a lot of these changes. I think I maybe had like, okay, in editing, like, it's gonna pop up how many I said were good and how many I said were bad, and then miscellaneous, which was just everyone I just said were, I don't know. So overall, really good patch notes. I like these patch notes, but thank you guys for watching. Great time recording this, and I hope you guys had a great time watching. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys think they were good, bad, if you think some characters should have got this change, or some characters should have got that change, if there should have been more buffs, should have been more nerfs. Let me know what y'all think. But overall, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.